Well, she is a beloved Hollywood icon who has graced the stage and screen for decades, a distinguished actress and an author. She lives in the US but remains proudly British. We love this interview, so the team and I decided tonight that we're going to get you reconnected with the ever delightful Julie Andrews. She's a face and a voice that we all grew up with, whether it's Maria or Mary Poppins. Julie Andrews is one of film's greatest icons. The Academy Award-winning actress started out on the vaudeville stage, where she was discovered as a child to have an incredibly rare vocal range. Able to sing 4 octaves, she proved in Mary Poppins, her silver screen debut.
Cheeky.
Sadly, in 1998, an operation on her vocal cords left her voice severely damaged. But that didn't stop Andrews from tackling new realms. She starred in a number of films, including The Princess Diaries.
Shut up. I said shut up.
And embarked on children's book writing. And her latest book is entitled The Very Fairy Princess, which she wrote with her daughter. Andrews explained to me how she got into writing.
I lost a game that I was playing with my kids, and I had to pay a forfeit. And my eldest daughter, my stepdaughter, said, your forfeit should be that you write us a story. So I thought, okay, I'll dash off a couple of pages and it'll be fun. And then because it was a new stepdaughter and I thought maybe it would help us bond, I began to write and I really enjoyed it.
Tell me about the book. Do you know where it's going?
It's based, loosely based on my daughter Emma's young child called Hope, and she's such an amazingly individual little girl, and you know, in spite of socks about her ankles and flower high tops and everything, she has the wings and the crown and all of that. So it's loosely based on Hopi, but it's really every little girl who believes she really is a princess somewhere deep inside.
Ainsley asks, what's your favourite role and why? And do humour us. We're talking about acting, of course, now.
I loved doing The Sound of Music and Mary Poppins, and they were very early films for me, and I was learning on my feet. Films that I made with my husband were a joy. Victor Victoria, a little film that we made together which was very biographical called That's Life. A black and white movie that I did very early in my career called The Americanization of Emily. I had a wonderful screenplay about the folly of war and how we honor our war heroes and procreate seemingly more images about war.
In 1965, I found a newspaper piece. The Pittsburgh Press wrote that you were and described you as the epitome of British reserve and fortitude, which I thought was absolutely lovely. It was when you were picking up your Oscar for Mary Poppins. Do you still feel very British?
Well, I'm very flattered, but I'm not sure that restraint really works for me. Yes, I do. I'm very proud to be British. I feel like I carry my country wherever I go, and kind of in a very Pollyanna-ish way, I'm afraid. I feel I try to represent it. It's a sort of hands across the water kind of thing, and it feels important to me, and therefore I do it.
Listen, we were talking about picking up the Oscar in 1965 for Mary Poppins. Humour me, if you will. Talk to me about Sound of Music and Mary Poppins. Of course, people know you best for those. Give us some gems, if you were.
Mary Poppins was mostly about patience. It taught me how to be patient. I mean, because there were so many special effects in that movie, there was an enormous amount of sitting around waiting for the right moment to shoot, because technically it took so much trouble. And so much of it was shot in front, all the animated stuff was shot in front of a big, huge yellow screen with nothing there. So penguins, the tortoise, the butterflies, you just had to pretend that they disappeared and so on. Sound of Music, there were many, many memories. A funny memory was when we were all in the boat rowing on the lake, and we come home, and I stand up and I see the captain, and we all fall out of the boat by accident. And just before we were rolling that take, the assistant director came over to me and said, Julie, could I just tell you something? The little one doesn't swim. So could you fall forward, please, and grab her as quickly as you can? And I'm saying, no, we'll be there as quickly as we can, but we don't want her to go under too many times. So, my God, it was an awesome responsibility, and this is sweet little girl. Anyway, the boat rocked forward, backwards, forward, and I went over backwards. I've never done the breaststroke as fast in my life, and we did save little Kimmy, and but it was a nasty moment.
Lovely. Listen, Grace has written to us, Julie. She says, and it's a great question, and it's one we've asked people before, but I want to hear from you. What's your best advice to a young, aspiring actress?
I think that if you're really passionate about what you want to do, if it's in the theatre or whatever you're doing, actually, but if it's in the theatre and you're really passionate about it, I would say, based on my own life, that amazing opportunities are going to go floating past your nose when you maybe least expect it. So my advice is always do your homework, be ready, and then work as hard as you can, learn as much as you can, and those opportunities will at some point undoubtedly pass.